Sometimes people that you look up to can give you a harsh reality on what it takes to become one of the all-time greats in the WNBA. You won't believe what the GOAT, many people think, and Maya Moore said about Caitlin Clark. But we'll unpack all that next here on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Yeah, guys, sometimes, man, the people that you look up to, they can give you a harsh reality on what it takes to move on to the next step and to become something that you set yourself out to become. Now, we all know that Caitlin Clark has been on record to say that she looks up to Maya Moore. That was one of her childhood idols, and she loves the way Maya Moore plays the game. Now, we all know what Maya Moore brings to the table. Now, her resume is well documented. Now, Maya Moore, she played in the WNBA with the Minnesota Lynx from 2011 to 2018. She's a four-time WNBA champion. She won a championship in 2011, 2013, 2015, and 2017. She was a WNBA Finals MVP in 2013. She won the WNBA MVP in 2014. Now, she's a six-time WNBA All-Star, three-time WNBA All-Star Game MVP. Also, she's a five-time All-WNBA First Team, and she's also a two-time WNBA Second Team. And also, she's WNBA steals leader in 2018. Also, she was the WNBA scoring leader in 2014, and she was the WNBA Rookie of the Year in 2011. Also, she was on the WNBA 2011 All-Rookie team. Also, she's WNBA 20th anniversary team in 2016, and she's on the WNBA 25th anniversary team in 2021. Now, her number 23 was retired by the Minnesota Lynx. Now, Maya Moore cut her career short because she was looking out for a particular person and bringing justice to this person because he was wrongfully convicted and, Mr. Irons. So she cut her WNBA career short when she was at the peak of her career, and she sought out for justice. And she got Mr. Irons exonerated. And also they, later on they got married and they have a child together. And we all know that Caitlin Clark looks up to Maya Moore. And Maya Moore is one of the GOATs in the WNBA. A lot of people have her as being the GOAT. And, game recognizes game. Now, to become one of the greats in the WNBA, you got to have all the intangibles, not just somebody that can go out there and shoot the basketball and pass the basketball, but you got to have all the qualities. You got to have the leadership qualities. You got to have the qualities where people around you make your teammates better. And we saw Maya Moore did that in her time in Minnesota. That's why she's a four-time WNBA champion with the group of girls that she played with, because everybody, played and rubbed off of Maya Moore because she had great intangibles, leadership skills. She was a flat-out bucket, and she did everything the right way. So Maya Moore recently was on SportsCenter and did an interview with Stan Verrett because she's became a finalist for the Hall of Fame. And she has some interesting words to say about Caitlin Clark when Stan Verrett asked her. And it's the harsh reality about people criticizing or critiquing somebody's game and letting them know what they need to do to elevate themselves to be in the upper echelon of the people and the women in the WNBA. So it was kind of interesting on what Maya Moore had to say about Caitlin Clark when Stan Verrett asked her a question, because we all know Caitlin Clark looks up to Maya Moore. But before we get off into that, man, I'm on the road to 14,000 subscribers. Right now, we at 13,854. With the help of you guys, I know I can get there. Appreciate all the support. But people that's going to watch this video, please hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you'll know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Well, let's get off into the interview with Stan Verrett and Maya Moore and the interesting things that she said about Caitlin Clark. Let's take a listen.
Players who cite you as an inspiration for their games, including Caitlin Clark, who's just absolutely a phenomenon in college, came into the WNBA with a whole lot of hype, lived up to it, and now she is ready to take the next step. What's that next step like for her?
You know, next steps, gosh, in this generation, right? You have, I think, just so many more challenges of how to handle yourself as an adult, right? You go through that whirlwind of being a senior in college, transitioning into the W, and then the next step is how to become just an even better leader. And so much of leadership, I think, is listening and learning. And hopefully the more she can get connected to vets in the league and just different people and coaches and anyone that she can glean wisdom from of how to just continue to learn how to be as a connected and inspiring leader as she can be. And a lot of that is walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So she's already on her way, but you know, continuing to have fun, continuing to anticipate how people are going to try to stop her, and being prepared as she can be for next season.
One of our analysts, Andrea Carter, says when she watches Juju Watkins, she sees your game in Juju. When you watch Juju, what do you see?
Man, Juju, first of all, just her physical body, right? She takes, looks like she takes really good care of her body to be strong, to be able to move, to be able to do different things on the court. I think that was one of my strengths, was there really wasn't an area of the game that I couldn't be pretty effective in. And so she's got the full package that way of looking like she cares about defense. Obviously still areas to grow in all categories, but just offensively, she's a bucket, right?
You heard what Maya Moore had to say. And she said some interesting things about Caitlin Clark, man. In order for her to take the next step, she has to be a better leader. So right now, Maya Moore is basically saying Caitlin Clark is not a leader. She needs to become that leader. She needs to listen, and she needs to just gravitate to a lot of players and a lot of, coaches, the way Maya Moore alluded to. And, you know what I'm saying? She also said, you gotta walk the walk, not just talk it. So in order for Caitlin Clark to rise her game to the next level, her own person that Caitlin Clark idolizes sent her a message saying, hey, you need to become a better leader. Now, a lot of people through the course of the WNBA season last year, I know she was just a rookie, saying that she needs to be a better leader. They didn't know who the leader was on that Indiana Fever team. And, game recognizes game. And Maya Moore, she pointed that out. She pointed that out, that Caitlin Clark needs to be a better leader. Right now, she's saying that Caitlin Clark is not a leader. She needs to be a better leader. She also said some interesting things about Juju. Juju has the total package. Juju is a bucket, like she said. She said she reminds her of herself, that she can get to any spot that she wants, and she can dominate any way that she wants, just like Maya Moore could. So it's very interesting, that we see these legends, they just giving their fair assessment on certain players. And when these, commentators or these interviewers ask these questions and they give their fair analysis, because Maya Moore, she is one of the GOATs. She's a finalist for the Hall of Fame. Well documented, well decorated WNBA career. She's a 4-time champion. So when she sees things Got to take it for what it is. And she right now don't think Caitlin Clark is a leader. She needs to better her leadership skills and leadership qualities in order for her to become the next great in the WNBA. I see everybody in the comment section. I'm waiting for the comments on this video. But do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And we're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.